if you own a business and you have employees, you're going to be in trouble. And it's not if, it's when. And what you really need is some expert HR consultants in your bullpen. And man, do I have the best HR consultants. I'm super blessed to just have these amazing relationships in my life where I get to call these people friends first, but they're absolute experts in their field. They're not good. They're great. My goal today is not to really make a referral, but just to kind of make an introduction so that you can see the people that I get to engage with every day. So let me tell you a quick story. I'm so grateful to have two of my absolute favorite persons here, Julie Wolfe and Lisa Ornelas. They own a consulting company called TruHR Solutions. I'm a client of theirs. They've helped a number of my clients. They're absolute experts. They care at a different level than most people, and I think that's one of the reasons they've had so much success. Thanks for being here today. Let's just jump into the most important thing very quickly. I wish I had a twin, but I don't. School, sports, you're probably trading identities, right? You're probably covering for the other with maybe a boy you were dating or with mom and dad. Tell me something that happened. Give me one fun, quick story about like, oh, I did this with a driver's license, or, oh, I took a test, or give me something that we can laugh at.
So there was one time where I was out a little bit too late, and Julie checked in with my mom twice, once for herself and once for me. So I ended up crawling through the window and my mom never knew. So
okay, time out. How old are you?
I am probably 17.
Julie, what do? Do you change your hair? Like, do you each go get two pair of the same exact glasses in case you got to do that? What's that look like?
I had to change pajamas.
Seriously?
I did.
And your mom didn't know?
No.
Okay, seriously. Like, cause like for normal people, you're like, I can't tell them apart, right? But for parents, you're thinking, well, they can always tell us apart. And you got one over on mom.
Oh, yeah.
Did you tell her that later?
She doesn't know that to this day. I don't believe so.
She does not. Never told her, never had to share. Okay, well, one other quick thing before we jump into some fun stuff. School. If I were a twin, I would take tests for my twin if I was smarter than them in an area. And like if my brother, he would have taken all my tests because he's way smarter than me. I would have like played basketball for him because I was better at basketball than he was. Who helped who more in school, and who was like the subject expert?
We absolutely took tests for each other. So I was a little bit better in English. Lisa was a little bit better in math. So I would take the English test twice in the same day. Once it's me, once it's her, and she was
different periods. Because did you not have? Did you almost by design not have the same class?
It wouldn't allow us to be in the same class.
First of all, thank God, because you wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah.
I hate to use the word cheat, but you wouldn't have been able to help your sibling out,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
And did you ever like go in and like, let's say it was Julie's test, but Lisa was taking the test. Did they ever say like, hey, Julie, and you didn't look up because you weren't paying attention?
There's been some moments of hesitation for sure. You have to catch yourself because we're not used to doing it. But yeah, you have to be on point.
Or if the teacher knew both of you and like you're sitting in class and maybe tried to trick you. But there had to be a lot of fun being twins with some of those things.
It was a blast. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that. In some of my encounters with both of you, I know you're not attorneys, but you're smart like attorneys, and your knowledge base is crazy how knowledgeable you are when it comes to the law and pertaining to that. I also know you two are trying to help people, not just in their business, but you two seem to look at it a holistic. Here's the business, but here's your soul. And we have to figure out a way to help you not lose your soul, during the process. And so I almost feel like part of your job is more therapist sometimes.
100%. Yeah, 100%. You got employees laying out their life story to you. You got owners laying out their life stories and willing to put anything on the line just to be right. I mean, it's a lot of therapy.
Yes.
We both major soc and psych and soc, so we're like
lined right up.
Yeah.
I've never asked you this in all of our time together. When did you start TruHR Solutions, and probably more importantly, why did you start it?
So I believe it was 2012. I'm terrible with dates, but I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
I was internal HR for a large corporation, medium-sized corporation, and I didn't feel like my core values and mission was aligned with some of their decision making, and that had been a lot of my experience in consulting prior to having being in-house with this client.
Real quick, did you jump in HR right out of college?
I did.
Okay, God. Did you go to school for that? No, wait, you said Soch.
Correct.
Okay, God.
Yep. And so I'm like, I can do this better, and I can align myself with people that are more aligned with my mission and core values.
Yeah.
So I thought I could do it better. Oh, because I didn't like the way HR was being viewed or partnered with.
Yeah.
So I gave myself a 6-month plan. My husband's super supportive and never turned back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And I'm serious. They're going to kill me. I've never hit the microphone this many times. Did you join at the same time, or did you come after?
No, I came after. So when she first started, I had 2 kids in college and I had tuition to pay. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make the job.
I don't know if I can go work for free to see if we can make it work.
Can I do it? And then I think it was about 3 years maybe after she started, I made the leap. Actually, before I thought I was going to, I did. And I wish I would have done it earlier.
Of course, right? You look back, and
Yeah.
I think I'm so fortunate to know so many entrepreneurs, and it's so great to see the personality differences of them, right? Some really want to do something because they want to be great. Some I just want to make more money. Some want to work for myself. I love that you said that, because the majority of successful entrepreneurs I know, not one of them who has had success said, I knew I was going to crush it right when I came, right? It's all almost the same thing. I was scared shitless. I had no idea what I was doing. I'm trying to get, now that the kids are out of college, they're on the payroll. I'm still paying their cell phone bill. How am I going to do this?
Yeah.
And then you look back and you're like, oh my gosh, like I wish I would have done it so much sooner.
And we had no idea what it was going to be. Like, we didn't know if we were going to grow it or just be happy doing like this little thing. And I think it just organically, the more people we helped, the more people came to us for help. So
Yeah.
it was just really like, we had some dinners where we just sat back and went, 2 females from a little town in Ohio are running like a multi-million-dollar business. It's
Yeah.
insane. Like, we still have a hard time understanding, like,
Yeah.
we did it. It's weird. It's weird.
Well, listen, because it's my show, I can say whatever I want. One of the best things about both of you, why I feel like we're such good friends, I don't care what you think, but I consider us friends, and why I know so many people in our similar circles feel the same way about you, is that exact comment right there, right? You watch someone have success. I'm not a LeBron James fan. What he has done on the court is like almost unheard of. And if he would just shut up and stop saying how great he is, the conversation with him and Michael Jordan would be even closer. And that's just personal opinion.
Yeah.
But one of the things I don't like about him is you want to talk about your upbringing? I'm in. You want to talk about, a lot of people didn't like that announcement when he went to the Miami Heat. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
What a lot of people didn't know is he donated $10 million to the Ronald McDonald House. I love that. What I don't like is the people that have success that let us know that they're the reason for the success. To come back full circle, that's what I love about both of you, is that you're like, oh, we're just these 2 girls from this small town, and look at what we've done. Those are the stories that that's why people want to work with you, because you don't take it for granted. I'm just going to affirm, you don't tout yourselves as we're bitching. You're like, we're these girls from this small town, and we just had an idea because I didn't like the way the corporate world was treating employees, and I felt like it could be done better, and we staked our claim, and we're so grateful, right? Which is great. Why do you? There's been a massive shift in HR consulting, what I'm going to call independent companies who will kind of come in and be your HR department, and there's some similarities in mortgage with what you do, but what do you attribute to, call it 2012 to now? There's been a massive swing with a lot of companies like TruHR Solutions that have come on the scene. Is that because corporations are trying to get more talent for the same money it would take to hire someone? Is it we got one person in HR, and when they're out for a week, we're shut down? Is it I want 4 brains instead of 1? Is there something you can attribute to the massive upsurge in companies like yours?
Go ahead. Yeah, I think if you look at the role of HR, there is a lot of what we do is very tactical, administrative, but there's also some higher level, higher like knowledge base of compliance. And if you have a small to medium sized company, you don't need to spend $200,000 on a director of HR that has all of this. You can hire someone at a lesser capacity and then have a consultant sprinkle in where they need to and be strategic and be, the eyes on compliance. But the day-to-day kind of minutia of HR can be done at a much lower cost. And a lot of companies are realizing it's very affordable to do it that way. At least that's what I've seen. But I think COVID kind of pushed that narrative as well. People downsized. They didn't need a full-time HR department. People want remote. So this consulting thing, for us, COVID, we doubled in business during
Oh, no
COVID.
kidding.
So I think that also brought awareness of we don't need someone full time. We've already scaled down. We can get the support that we need at half the cost. So
okay, wow. I love hearing story. I hate COVID for the social reasons for the kids and the people, all of it. But there are some lemonades out of that lemon. And I love that you doubled. I'll tell you what's crazy about that. I was on a Zoom call, I felt like, with both of you every day improvisers for those 2 years, yet you doubled your business. Like you didn't sleep. No. Like a lot of Red Bull and coffee or something, right?
16, 18-hour days. It was crazy. Yeah. It was fun, though. It was moving and shaking. Our team was so tight. We had just hired 2 new people, and we were not going to let anything happen to them because they trusted to come with us. And so we wanted to make sure we were able to give them work and pay them.
Yeah.
And it was crazy.
Probably at the detriment of your own financial pocket during that time.
A little bit.
Which a lot of people.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend of mine. I've been, self-employed my whole life. He's like, oh, it must be so great being self-employed. I'm like, well, there's for sure some benefits. He's like, no, it's great. I'm like, okay. I said, what happens when you don't have enough money to pay your staff, let alone yourself? I think people think being self-employed is so glamorous. And don't get me wrong, that there's a reason you are. And there's so many great things about it. Anyone who's never been self-employed has no idea how strenuous it can become, mostly with finances, because can I afford to hire the cleaning person, or can I just clean the office once a week and stay till 11? Can I afford to hire someone to do QuickBooks, or can I just take it on? And you wrestle with that stuff, and then you make a decision, and then you either realize it was the right one or the wrong one. And I love that you said, well, we made a commitment, and it was probably to your own detriment financially, right? But that's what happens when you decide to take something on. I want to go back for a second to the corporate world. I don't want to put you on the spot too much.
Sure.
Is it fair to say, through your words, you didn't really like the way HR was being run, maybe in the way it was corporation trying to align more for themselves versus really caring about the employees? Or did you hate the employees? Or what's that disconnect that says, nope, I'm going to go stake my own claim?
I think it was the top leadership down mentality instead of the bottom up mentality.
Yeah.
So it was more about, like we talked about, it's all about me and you're going to do what I want because this is my company and I don't care what you like. It wasn't collaboration. It wasn't, let me ask your opinion. It was like, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And so I think I felt like a loss of freedom, a loss of decision-making. HR was seen as a department, not as like a collaborator.
Yeah.
So I think that was really important for me to have that.
Was that here in California?
Yes.
Okay. So it's crazy. I worked for a large national company a while back, and the owner is the biggest narcissist I've ever met in my life. And he went through it's a big company, thousands of employees. I think there was 4 different heads of HR in 4 years. And one of them I befriended, and we became good friends. And one of the things I found out was he would come to her and say, tell me how to do this. And she's like, oh, this is how you make the cake, right? Put this. And then as soon as the cake was made, he's like, I don't want that cake. And she'd be like, okay, how do you want to do this with employees? Do this. And then he would say, oh, she's like, we can't do that. It's illegal.
Yeah.
And he'd say, well, we're going to do it anyway, because one of his corporate attorneys would come in and say, listen, we're going to get sued. We'll be fine. And he went through 4 in 4 years. And I'm not saying every organization is like that. She didn't like the employees either, because he seemed to hire people that weren't great people. But for her, she's like, I can't come to work every day and lie. I can try and get gray. I can help you push an envelope a little bit. I can't knowingly tell you to do something that you're going to break the law and just have some attorney come in and do it. And I know a lot of companies, especially in California, they just get so frustrated with the process. They're like, I don't care. They're going to just going to have to sue me. And it's just kind of part of the process. But it takes away, how can I really be a resource to these employees to make the company better? I think some of the C-level executives forget, you can be demonstrative and narcissistic from the top, but if you want your business to grow, let's try and let the employees be healthier or happier or more productive, right? I mean, it's, Okay, let's first of all, I want to congratulate you on something, and thank you for allowing me this platform. You started the company in 2012, and last year you sold the business.
December 2023.
23.
December. Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Couple questions on that. Was that ever part of the plan when you said, I'm going to launch my own? No, it wasn't, right? It was just, I'm going to go get a job that I like better. And if I can make enough money to pay the mortgage with Mac, I'm good.
Never in a million years did I ever think I would sell the company. Never in a million years. It didn't even cross my mind, really.
Yeah. And how was, I don't need names, and how was that first phone call or interaction when it came of, hey, we'd like to talk to you?
It was interesting because Lisa had the connection with the company that purchased us. So Lisa had a relationship there, and she came to me. She's like, I think they're interested in like purchasing. I'm like, are you sure? Like, was he really clear on that?
Well, where's it?
She's like, yeah, I think so. And so we went and had dinner, and it was amazing. It was an amazing experience for sure. I hear horror stories, but ours was not that.
Not at all.
And we entertained it for a year, and they came back with a deal, and it wasn't the right deal. It wasn't right for us. And we're like, maybe it's just not the right time. It's the right people, and it's the right company.
Okay, so you real quick. So you felt that
Yeah.
a lot of the things were really good, right? Because sometimes you can, like, in the first meeting, you might be like, hey, this isn't for us.
Yeah.
But you like the engagement, you like the personalities, you like the core values, right? So that was probably almost harder because you're like, oh, shoot, we like this match.
Right.
But it took time to whatever, strike the deals or just think about it, right?
Yeah, to think about it. And we said no, and then they came back 6 months later, and they flipped the deal on its side, and it worked. And I think for us too, the important thing was, when we retire, we want our employees to have a place that they're going to feel good about, and that they're going to like the culture, and they're going to want to, we don't want to just hand them off to a company that's not right. Right. So we thought a lot about, what does this mean for our employees?
Yeah.
Would they enjoy working for this company if we're not there?
Yeah.
And we said,
of course you both thought that.
We kept saying,
no, I mean it.
Yeah, we kept saying yes, 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 yes. And even the employees now, they're like, this is a great company.
Oh my gosh. Like, doesn't that,
yeah.
The twins from the small town, right? You're, we all laugh at Warren Buffett, but not really, right? He still drives an old car, still lives in the same house, still talks more about his people than he talks about himself, right? Of course, that was one of your deciding factors, right? I'm sure it wasn't the only one. But when you build a business from the ground up, employees come and go, but you have some that are like, they took a chance with you, like you don't want to just throw them to the wolves just because you're going to get to sell your business. One of the things I love about the sale, which didn't surprise me, by the way, may have surprised you, but one of the things I loved about the sale is that you're both still there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Which means, don't laugh, it doesn't suck. You don't hate HR,
right?
And at least just the mere fact that you're still there and you both are always smiling, it sounds like it was a great decision, and you still like what you're doing.
For sure.
Right?
%. Yeah, I love it. It's a great company. We have so many more resources, and it's just really made us better business people, better consultants. I mean, it's just been an amazing process. They're fantastic people.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Feels good.
Did they leave you alone?
Yeah.
Well, if they're smart, they would.
Yeah.
And was that one of the fears? Like, what happens when we're just employees?
Yeah.
Was that one of the fears?
I let them know up front I didn't want to be bossed around. So yeah, I let them know I kind of wanted to be I still wanted to have our team and be pretty independent. And they really honored everything they said they were going to do done. So
no wonder I hate to say it, like, no wonder you're so happy with it because of that.
It's been great. They haven't gone back on anything they said that they were going to do for us or allow us to do, not one single thing.
My God.
So I really feel fortunate, because I feel there's horror stories out there like, yeah, they say that up front, but it doesn't happen. It's very true.
Now, did they have your vertical in their menu of options? Did they already have HR consulting, but they wanted to get better at it?
Very small slice of it, and they're trying to expand it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a national firm, so they have HR presence across all their offices, and then our Irvine office is small, so there's a small HR consulting crew there that we've now started to integrate a little bit with.
Okay.
We service pretty much in the same way. There's not too much difference.
Yeah,
they're great too.
Yeah.
They're good kids.
Do you like the ability of having like an additional product offering? Like, for instance, if one of your existing clients who's been with you for however long says, hey, we don't really know our benefits provider, is that easy to say, hey, listen, we just talk to our guy and let him see if, or our girl, let's see if that's a fit for you,
Yeah, it's
right?
definitely, even when we weren't part of this merger or this acquisition, we still had really good broker friends or
Yeah,
connections. So we still have those connections because we want to get the right fit with the right client.
sure.
So there's internal resources for sure that we're thankful to have, but we also have our external buddies that are still important to us.
Yeah,
So it's about fitting the right product, the right
yeah.
person with the right client.
Yeah, if it's
So
the right fit there, great.
yeah.
I also know you too. You will do what's right by the client first, even if that means not lining your own pockets, right? Again, it's your husband's going to be like, oh, Chris said so many nice things about you. They're true. Your husband's probably know 'em, but as spouses, we may not. Like if Chris were here and you said, oh, does he really make you a hot water every morning? She'd say yes. But let me tell you what he did in 1997. He went out drinking one night and he came home from Vegas 2 days later or something like that, right? So this platform allows me to just to kind of affirm that. I want to talk for another minute about HR and then get back to some personal stuff. When you're looking at bringing on clients, like what's the biggest fear that you're finding a new client when they're engaging with you? Is it, I don't know if I can afford it. I really want my own. I've never outsourced something before. Like I could list the 6 reasons why I hired you. I mean it because everyone has a different value proposition, right? Like I tell people all the time, I can't eat bagels and donuts and stay thin. I either have to embrace the bagel and donut, my stomach's going to be bigger, or I cannot eat and I'm going to look a little bit healthier. And I feel like it's the same thing for me. I can find the 6 reasons why what you do is an absolute home run for a small to medium sized business. But what are you finding like is the biggest fear or the biggest like concern of a small to medium sized business coming to you and engaging with you about what their fears are, what they're worried about?
That's a good question. I don't get many fears. I do get questions about how long is this commitment? Because I think they want to test the waters and see if it's the right fit for them if they haven't experienced a consultant before. So
Sure.
it's like, how long is the commitment? Can we go
Mhm.
month to month or
Yeah.
can we go yearly? How does that work? So I think
Yeah.
that's one piece. I mean, everyone right now is really conserving money, I think, right now. We've gone through a bunch of layoffs with our clients and people
Sure.
are kind of like making really hard decisions when it comes to finances. So
Yeah.
right now it's like, how much and how long is the commitment? I think is probably the biggest fear currently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too. And they just, they don't know what they don't know.
Yeah.
And so I think once they get like a taste of how we can come in and identify immediate areas of liability, then it clicks and then they begin to trust. And then that relationship is no longer month to month. I mean, our longest client has been probably with us from the very beginning. I mean, I've
Yeah.
had clients for 17 years, some of them as long, and where I'm on site every Wednesday for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I'm part of the wallpaper.
Yeah. No, but I love that.
Yeah.
I mean, we all know businesses make good decisions and bad decisions, mistakes and everything that comes with it. There's this fear of, do I really need to afford it? Do I really need to pay for it if I'm not going to get sued? Well, if you're in California, you're going to get sued somewhere down the road. And it's a line item expense on a P&L that's a proactive one. It'll become reactive quickly when you got to go hire some attorneys that we know if you haven't set up the right plan. But I can see where a small to medium sized business is like, oh, I got to make this commitment for a year or 2 years or something like that. I also probably think, I remember going through this with you. You did this beautiful handbook and all these things to get me ready. It seems like there's a lot of work that's done up front just to get it started that I think for some of them might be like, they may not realize, listen, a lot of what we do is to get you launched in the first 30 days. If we go month to month, there's no way I can monetize what I'm going to do in the first month. They almost really need to see it, feel it, and smell it for a little bit longer. Is that fair?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I think too, what we bring to the table is just peace of mind. If they're having like a lot of employee relations issues, or maybe they just went through an EDD audit because they got nailed for having independent contractors that should have been employees, they
Yeah.
come to us in a sense of, I didn't know what I was supposed to know, and now I need someone to tell me everything I need to know.
Yeah.
We get a lot of clients coming out of lawsuits that want us to come in and really kind of open up the hood and check
Yeah.
out everything for them.
Rip it apart and kind of
Yeah.
prevent the next one. And I hate to say it, it's similar to me. My favorite clients are the ones who call me in panic and fear.
Yeah.
I've been with a bank for 3 weeks. My loan just got declined. I've got 9 days. Can you help? Yes. And interest rate's important. It's all important. But what becomes most important at that time for that client is, I didn't do this right the first time. it's not that I don't care what the cost is and I don't care how long the commitment is. I need to fix this now. And sometimes that's just the way it's going to be. Some people, I just had an estate attorney in here recently. And one of the biggest challenges, we all know what probate is, and we all know how strange it would be not to have a living trust, considering the small cost and what it avoids. People are just in fear and panic about spending $3,000 or $4,000 or identifying who's going to, be the trustees and things like that. I can imagine a lot of small to medium-sized business owners have the same thing. It's like, I don't know if I can really do it. But then when the shit hits the fan, the money becomes irrelevant, and how long the contract is irrelevant because they've seen the pain. And sometimes I feel like those are some of the best lessons in life with stuff like that. HR is boring. Let's before we wrap up, let's talk about a little bit more fun. Who cooks more when it's the four of you? Is that Julie's the cook?
I enjoy it. Julie and Mac.
And Mac's the cook.
He's excellent.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is Mac on the grill and you're on the stove? Is there no rules or protocol around it?
When he's in the kitchen, he likes to do it all by himself. Yeah. So I'll help sous chef kind of some things, but he's amazing. He's an amazing chef. So I take a little back seat, but when he doesn't care and I cook, I run the show, and I'd rather do it by myself as well.
So it's and you've been married 20 years.
Yeah, over.
It's really interesting that you say that, because Chris and I this August will be 30 years. We've been together 32 years. And gosh, if there's one thing in our marriage that I know she would like to be better, is like she would like to do whatever it is more together, whether it's cooking, whether it's fixing the light bulb. We don't do well together. Like I've been cooking more because she works a lot now, and I love cooking for her. But don't tell me how to make the salmon. If you want to make the salmon, I'll eat it. But I don't need you in here. You've told me you loved it. The kitchen's leave me alone.
Same.
Right? You feel the same. And I don't care who's cooking.
Yeah.
And I'll offer and say, hey, babe, can I help? No, perfect. I'm going to watch the game. Sometimes 10 minutes later, it's like, oh, it must be nice watching the game. I wish someone would cut the lettuce or something like that. But I prefer that a little bit better. What about vacations? So is one of you a better planner for the four of you to go? Or do you just kind of get in conjunction to do it together?
I would say I like to travel a little bit more than she does. Yeah. So I would probably take the lead a little bit more on thinking about the areas, but together collectively would plan it out for sure.
Yeah.
Together we make the decision.
And okay, so I'm much older than you. Fast forward 5 years from now, just hypothetically, you are or are not working. Let's just fast forward. What does retirement look like? Like, for instance, I tell people I can't wait to retire. I'm not going to sit on the couch and eat bonbons. Like that's not my ideal of retirement. Like I bet you if I can choose to stop working, I bet you I'll be busier when I'm not working than when I am. So what does that look like? There's probably some travel in there, but have you talked yet about, not when, but like especially being so close, right? The two of you and your husbands and everyone gets along. Is there a villa in Tuscany for 3 months just to try, or in Spain or something?
That sounds amazing. That'd be good. Yeah. Yeah. We talk about it all the time. We're going to have so much fun. Yeah. We're going to golf more. We're going to pickleball. I want to volunteer at animal shelter. Yeah. Maybe even at a hospital. I really want to spend some time doing something for someone.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah. Volunteer. I definitely would like to sit on a board or two eventually.
Yeah.
Travel's going to be big. Golf's going to be big. We're going to buy a house somewhere and in some other state. So we'll do it together and be close there too. So our husbands have signed up for that.
Do they know that?
Yeah. Yeah.
The husbands know that apparently. And you two are going to decide.
Yes.
And
I love that. To come along.
And they get to come along. My wife would say the same thing. She'd be like, I'm like, I don't go there. She's like, if I want to go, we're going. Which happens. We want to love our wives and whatever they want. Have you two, I don't need another state. Yeah. Have you two already started kind of talking about like what some of those ideas might look like? Mm-hmm. And are you trying to go visit them, or have you already been there? Or
yeah, we looked at Florida. We're going to look at North Carolina. We're going to Tennessee. We're going to look at a couple places.
It's probably one of the funnest parts of it. So Chris and I, we didn't want to leave California, but we talked about if we went somewhere, where would it be? And we went and visited the 6 states that were even a close option. Fortunately for me, we've decided none of them. We're going to pay the taxes and have what we have here. If the kids moved or something like that happened, Chris was like, well, we're going to buy a house where they live. I'm like, why would we do that? And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's what VRBO is for.
Right.
I said, or whatever one of my kids is talking about moving to Texas right now. I said, here's the deal. Let him go to Texas. Let him rent a house for a year. If he loves it and wants to buy a house, let's give him 50 grand and he'll buy a bigger house, or he'll buy a house with a casita. And I'll say, hey, when I'm in town, that's mine. And you can use it when I'm not here. But I don't want to I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to live more than one place, let alone that.
I hear
right? Do all 4 of you golf together?
My husband does not.
I thought Mac golfed.
Nope.
No.
He's maybe once or twice he's tried it, but it's not his
Well,
thing.
he better get on board.
Yeah, keep trying. Talk to him, Chris.
It's not his deal.
Talk to him.
Do you 2 golf alone together?
Mostly together. Mostly together.
Okay.
My husband likes to golf.
Yeah.
He's really good. Yeah.
But he can't get Mac to golf? What's Mac's deal? He's so nice. What's his deal?
Oh, you got to get to him.
He needs to be a little more receptive.
Right? We agree. And when he does go, although his swing is unorthodox, he can crush the ball. So,
But what is it? Does it say why? Does he not like
I
it?
think my husband, he's such a go-getter.
Yeah.
He never stops.
He doesn't like to
I
sit
think
still
it's
for 4 hours.
slow. I think
Yeah,
it's
got it.
too slow for him, and it takes up 4 hours of a day. So he thinks he can go work and make money and do something else.
Yeah.
He enjoys that. Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I love golf, and I'm not very good. I've been playing for 25 years. One of the things I love about it is it turns my mind off.
Yeah.
And that for me is I love not having my phone on. And I think if and when I get to retire, I think it'll be the same. For me, my favorite golf in the world is in Texas when it's 25 degrees. I got a friend of mine who lives out there. I go there in the winter to literally golf with him in 25-degree weather. The sun's out and the ball moves really fast. But man, for 3.5 hours, it's just me. It's 30 degrees out. I got a cigar, and Mac's got to feel what he feels. But for me, it's the only way I can turn my brain off. I've tried yoga, doesn't work. I've tried walking, doesn't work. Golf is the only thing. And so sometimes Chris will be like, "Have you golfed recently? You probably should."
I love that.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you came in. I can't wait to promote you both. I talk about you all the time. I'll talk about you even more. I think every small to medium-sized business should be talking to someone like you, especially you, both because your approach is, it comes from a servant's heart first. There's a cost to do everything, right? You got to buy bottled water. You got to buy eggs. I think the value that you bring, not just from a knowledge perspective, but probably more from a caring perspective, is probably one of the biggest reasons why I feel like you've had so much success, because you didn't really plan on it. I know you 2 don't like compliments. That's why I'm filling you with them. But I'm grateful for our friendship more than anything. And I'm so glad that you kind of came on. I'm going to take the hot seat. Before I wrap up, one of you gets to look into that camera. And for anyone that has questions or wants to talk about their HR or maybe help or guidance, just look right in there and tell them how they can get a hold of you guys.
Thanks, Chris. You can contact us at our website at TruHRSolutions.com, or Julie at TruHRSolutions.com would be my email.
Yeah. Julie Wolfe and Lisa Ornelas are rock stars. They're twin sisters who are best friends. And you can tell by how connected they are, what's most important to them. And to be able to launch a company in 2012 they call themselves, self-proclaimed 2 girls from a small town, and to grow a business, sell a business, and yet stay in the business, I think is one of the best victories about that. You will do yourself and your clients great service if you have them. Reach out to them. Thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I'll call Mac and tell him to try and start golfing.
Please.
Yeah, thank you both. Thanks, everybody.